Hello and welcome everyone to the latest installation of Journey to Jesus on the Christian Kabbalah YouTube channel. My name is Shemot Klinger, and I am again so happy to be able to bring all of this information to you. This is a weekly series that we are live streaming every Sunday night at this time, 9:30 Pacific time. So if you are unable to see it, obviously you can watch it on the replays, but nonetheless, I am so grateful that you are here. So let's get started. So, my friends, this is a very special week with a very special opportunity for us that has everything to do with what we learned about last week. So maybe you were able to see the live stream last week. If not, I recommend, because the two are sort of tied together. What is important for you to notice is this right here, is that all of this information, all of this wisdom is derived from the first chapters of Exodus. Okay? In Hebrew, this portion of the Old Testament, this portion of the Torah is known as Shemot. Okay? And that encompasses Exodus, the first, starting from the first verse and going all the way through verse 6:1. So all of this information is ultimately drawn from that part of it. So as a way of review, maybe this is the first Journey to Jesus live stream that you have had the opportunity of seeing. So I figure let's go back and review some of the basics, okay? And that is, maybe you were unaware as a Christian especially, that every week a different portion of the Torah is read in the synagogue, in every synagogue, right? Or in a place where they actively study Kabbalah, okay? And as a result of this, in the Zohar, there is a different explanation that explains how we can draw closer to God. And the Zohar then goes in and explains that particular Torah portion. So all the information that we originally got, that is covered in this particular live stream, is originally from the Torah. It is encoded in the Torah and then decoded through the Zohar. In this series, we use the wisdom of the Zohar to help you in your Christian walk, okay? And again, as I've said in weeks past, there may be information that is really foreign to you, things and topics that you may not be so familiar with, especially if you are new to Kabbalah. If that is the case, I highly recommend you click on this particular link. There is a link in the description box that talks about the foundational ideas upon which this series rests. So if you're confused in any way, take a look. That might clarify things for you. Okay, so let's also talk about what is Christian Kabbalah. These are, again, foundational ideas. What is Christian Kabbalah to begin with? So there is a lot of misinformation on the web. And trust me, I hear about it in the comments. There's a lot of misinformation about Kabbalah and what it is. Kabbalah is simply the deepest understanding that there is of the Old Testament, and specifically the 5 books of Moses. Okay, all of the information is drawn from the Zohar, which is a commentary on the Torah and the other books of the Old Testament. Okay, so it describes the inner journey of discovering the soul within you. Now, last week, we talked at length about what exists in you, what exists in me, in every human being. So let's take a quick moment of review and discuss. According to Kabbalah, every human being has a soul within them. Now, this is not so new to a Christian. Christians believe that they have a soul. However, depending upon what sect of Christianity you are a part of, you may believe that in the doctrine of total depravity, which says that every human being has nothing redeeming within. Okay? And Kabbalah believes that to an extent, okay? But let's clarify. We have everyone, me, you, every single human being on this planet, they have a soul, and ultimately that soul is rooted in God, okay? However, also within us is what is known as the Satan, which is a dark force, and that dark force will do anything in its power to prevent us from doing the right thing. Now, let's be clear though. The soul is our true identity, our truest identity. And so therefore, if we distill the soul down to the soul, which is our truest identity, and find the root within the soul, which is God, we can say that our truest aspect is total divinity, okay? But there's a little catch, and everyone is aware of this, which is the other side. Now, Kabbalah teaches that the other side is not a true aspect of us. It is within us, and it will surely do everything it can to get us to act wrongly, to do the wrong thing, to act in a way that is negative. But even though it is within us, it is not us. And so this interplay of the forces of good versus the forces of negativity within us define our inner life. Kabbalah gives us the tools that teaches us. And again, where does Kabbalah come from? The greatest understanding, the deepest understanding of the Old Testament. Give us the tools that we need in order to truly connect with the divine aspect that exists within us. And undoubtedly, Christians can access the wisdom of Kabbalah, the wisdom that is encoded in the Old Testament, to help them draw closer to Jesus. Okay, so this channel, this live stream, is a way to present ideas that are ultimately encoded in the first 5 books of the Bible for Christians to use in order to draw closer to Jesus. And lastly, before we actually get to the presentation today, if you have any desire of receiving a pocket Zohar, please do not hesitate to click on this QR code. There's also a link in the description box. We would be so happy to send you out a Zohar. We do that about every month or so, so if you click on it, please be a little patient. We will be sending them out, though, relatively soon here for this particular month. All right, let's get started. Okay, so if you joined us last week, the unique energy was an opportunity for us to discover our soul's mission. Did you watch? And even better question, what did you discover? Did you find out anything? Did you find that your soul was communicating with you, urging you to do something that maybe you, not that you, it's probably something that you were ultimately very familiar with. Oftentimes, the deepest desires of our soul are the things that have been with us our entire life, but from one reason or another, we have not had the courage, the opportunity, the timing to actually go through with those things. What did you discover? Did you find something? Did you find something that was like, yes, this is what I need to do, or this is what I need to do today? Well, we are going to use that information for this particular week. This week, we are given divine assistance to start something new. Ideally, a mission that is somehow connected to your soul. Now, again, maybe you're watching this for the first time. Maybe you didn't watch the episode last week. That's okay. What is something that has not gone away for the majority of your adult life? Certainly there is something that no matter what you do, you can't quite leave it behind. Okay? These are the things that are, according to Kabbalah, most tied to your soul. Okay? According to Kabbalah, each week the Creator gives us new gifts and new opportunities. Each week comprises a different energy. Okay? These gifts are encoded in the Torah, and then, as we said, they're explained and fleshed out in the Zohar. So the reason why I am bringing this to our attention is because this is a very unique week, okay? Starting from at least several months ago, 2 or 3 months ago, the book of Genesis has been read every week. During the Torah portion, the book of Genesis. Genesis concluded last week. And so this week represents a new start, a fresh start. And as you can see, we as spiritual humans who are doing what we can to become better and better people, to doing what we can to strengthen our relationship with Jesus, we enter into a new framework. Okay? The framework corresponds to the actual Torah reading. And as a result, we are given the gift to start something new, to start anew. All right? And there is no coincidence whatsoever that this particular Torah portion is usually read around the New Year. Now, I cannot go so far as to say that this is the place where New Year's resolutions came from. But what I can tell you, that maybe you made a New Year's resolution on the first of the month or the first of the year. But if you revisit that this week, there will be greater assistance, greater supernal assistance, greater assistance from your guardian angels to allow you to finish whatever it is that your soul is asking you to start. So as we see here, around this time, we oftentimes can hear the whispering of our heart to start something new. Okay? Maybe it's an exercise program. I mean, this is like the stereotypical thing that people do at the beginning of the new year. Maybe it's a change of a career. Maybe you have considered going back to school. Maybe you have considered looking into a new spiritual practice. Or it could be a plethora, unending possibilities of what your soul is asking you to do. And I'll be honest with you. For several years now, I have gotten the message that I need to start to learn to speak Hebrew. And this week, I've already started the process to get into an introductory Hebrew class, and that is what I will be doing this particular week. But let's be honest, my friends. Oftentimes we feel great excitement at the beginning of something, but we soon face obstacles. We begin to doubt our abilities. Can we actually finish this? Motivation wanes. Are we truly strong enough to finish those things that we started? Okay, these are not unknown, right? Again, how far do typical New Year's resolutions get? Maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks, maybe for the people who are most dedicated, a month or a month and a half. How many people have the strength to be able to go the entire year? But this week's gifts, we are, especially if we understand what is available to us and make these actions consciously, we are given the energy and the inspiration to start a new path, a path of our soul, right? Because ideally, it is our soul that is propelling us into these new avenues. And more importantly, or as important, I should say, divine assistance is given to us to overcome any challenge along the way. Again, you can see here, last week we learned that embedded in our soul is a mission that no one else can complete besides you. Logically, this doesn't make any sense. We somehow think to ourselves, well, if I don't do it, it's okay. We don't take seriously our biggest dreams and our biggest desires. But if we do not chase after them, manifest them, and bring them to the world, in essence, we are doing a disservice to the entire world. The world needs the gift that you have, the gift that your soul wants you to accomplish. And again, divine assistance to finish that which you are starting this week. That's why it's more important. That's why it's more powerful to start something this week, to consciously start something this week, than it would have been to do it during New Year's, because we have the divine assistance this week to plant a seed. Now, speaking of planting a seed, okay, can you imagine what would happen to the crop of a farmer if they decided for some strange reason to plant their crop or their seeds in the dead of winter? I mean, imagine somewhere in the Midwest where it's snowy and some crazy farmer decides, you know what, this is the time. And they plant the seed. They plant the seed when the time is not ideal. Obviously, their crop would have a difficulty time growing, okay? If you can contrast that to what would happen to a farmer who plants their seed at the ideal time, according to the individual plant, that necessitates a healthier crop. And so when we are making these decisions in this particular week to plant a new seed that is related to your soul, if you do it this week, your crops will likely be healthier. You will see greater success in these endeavors if you do them this particular week as opposed to last one. And then from Kabbalist Karen Berg, the strength, the light, and wisdom of the Creator is inside you, guiding you, empowering you, and directing your way home. If you have questions, go to Jesus. Ask Jesus what's the right thing to do. If you're having doubts or questions, go within. You'll get the answers. Pray about it. But this is the week to act. So let's go over quickly the homework for this week, and then we have our Zohar reading. Number 1, homework for the week. Face your future with optimism. It doesn't matter what happened in the past. Have you consciously made decisions that are aligned with the energy of the universe? This is such an amazing opportunity. Number 2, in your meditations, in your prayers, see yourself where you want to be. See the dream manifested already. Know that your guardian angels are guiding you. Hear the wisdom of your heart this week and know that Jesus is showing you the way. And then, most importantly, is actually take an action. Plant a seed. Do something. Sign up for that class, which is what I am doing. Make a concrete action that will open up a new avenue and give you divine assistance to complete whatever it is that you are deciding to do. No matter how treacherous the journey may be ahead, it will be worth taking, right? No one is saying, I'm certainly not saying, that just because you plant an action, that things are going to be smooth sailing always. Absolutely not. And this is a much greater topic to describe why there might be troubles and difficulties in the manifestation process. But it will be worth taking. And it could even be the reason why you came into this world. Again, there is a reason, a specific thing that you are supposed to manifest. Maybe it's this. All right, so with this, we are going to shift gears and we are going to do a Zohar reading for this week. Okay, that's related to the topics that we just talked about. If you want some more information about the Zohar, please check out this live stream here. There's again a link in the description box that goes into great depth about why the Zohar and how it can help specifically a Christian draw closer and closer to Jesus. Okay? This particular Zohar reading is actually not coming from the Zohar reading of the week, and instead we are going to be looking at a different section in what is known as Vayishlach. But you can see here that the reason is very clear. The title of the section that we are going to be looking at is called Every Beginning is Difficult. Okay, and we will read the relevance, and then we are going to just read the Aramaic. Now, you may be unfamiliar why we would be reading in a language that you can't understand. I get it. Please access that other video which will explain. Okay. This is again, if you are looking also to maybe access this throughout the week, you can find Vayishlach. It is going to be I think it is volume number 5 in the English Red Zohar edition, and it's going to be chapter 7. Okay, this is what it's called. So let's read the relevance. Why and what are we going to gain from this particular section? Each new beginning in our lives represents the seed of all that will follow. The birth of a child, the outset of a new business enterprise, the start of a marriage, these are all examples of beginnings. Through the metaphysical words of the sages appearing in this ancient text of the Zohar, we help infuse our beginnings with extraordinary light and positive energy so that the seed of all that comes afterwards is healthy and strong. And that's what we are aiming towards. We want that assistance to help us go through whatever difficulties we might encounter. We derive the strength to endure through the strains and obstacles of the beginnings and to accelerate the arrival of relief and fruition. So again, maybe you are looking at this and thinking it might be a kind of curious title, but let's think about it, right? Oftentimes at the beginning of a new business, someone might be working for a year and a half until actually they are finding profit. That is what they are talking about in terms of the beginning is difficult. If you ask a new parent, usually the first year is extremely difficult compared to the rest. And again, every beginning is difficult. And so when we are thinking about starting something new, we want the assistance, the guidance to be able to persevere through whatever difficulty we might encounter, especially at the beginning. So let's begin. Here we go. Amar lo Rabbi Yosef la Rabbi Elazar. I forgot to say that we also, immense light, spiritual light is being revealed through this Zohar reading, especially when we are coming together. So with all of the destruction that's happened in California and other places around the world, we want to use this light and send it for healing as people are beginning new chapters of their lives, much to their dismay. But nonetheless, we can support them through this reading. Ha'itmar dachad mitat Rachel natla beta man deit tarich la'itat kana bit resar shivtim kitka yaot amai mitat Rachel miyad amar lo ha lamachave shechinta mit atra kitka yaot ul mechave im habanim smecha uves sharia le natla beta ul itat kana Afaldalid Benyamin Hu Tadir Be Me'arav Velo Misitra Chara. Verse 174. Uves Sharia Laitat Kana Bit Resar Shiftim Uve Sharia Malchuta Darakia La Ashtamuda Be'ara Berazada B'chol Sharuta De Atya La Ashtamuda Ba'kashiu Ihu Ve'alda It Ba Dina De Mota U Mitaman. Verse 175. Hachakad ba'a la itat kana ul natla beta it aver dina berachel uvatar ken itat kanat la it yashava. Kad ba'a la ish tamoda malchuta be'ara sharia benina ולה דאית ישבת מלכותה בדוקתה, כדקה יאות עד דאיתר דינה בישול, כפום ובדוי ולבטר, לאית ישבת מלכותה דאיתת כנת. Verse 176. תחזה, כל שירותה תקיף. ובתר נאיכה בראש השנה שירותה תקיף. בכל עמד עדן כל, חד וחד לפום ובדוי, ולבתר נאיכה לשיחה לכיפורי. בגין די שירותה איכו משמאלה ועל דה דינוי תקיפין, ולבתר אתר ימינה ועל דה חווה נאיכה. 177. ולזמנה דייתי זמים קודשה בריחו, לאתרה בנייך על שער מים עין כף מם סופית, ובתר יתת כף עליכו בנינה קשיח החו דכתיב השם כגיבור, יצא כאיש מלחמות, יאיר קנה, יאיר אף יצירך, על אבי אויביו, יתגבר השם בקדמתה דייכו רחמה, ולבתר כגבור, ולה גיבור, ולבתר כאיש מלחמות, ולה איש מלחמות, לבתר יתגלה תוקפה עליכו, ויתת כף בשצאה לון דכתיב, ירא אף יצריח, על אויביו, יתגבר, וכתיב יצא שם ונלחם בגויים ההם כאון מלחמו ביום קרב. וכתיב מי זה בא מאדום חמוץ בגדים מבצרה וגומל. So this is the final one for this particular week. ויהי בצאת נפשה, כי מתה ותקרא שמו בן עוני, ואביו קרא לו בנימין. רבי יהודה פתח ואמר, טוב השם למעוז מהיום צרה ויודע, חוסי בו. זכאה חולקה דבר נש, דאיתת כף מקודשה בריחו בגין לתוקפה, די קודשה בריחו איכו תוקפה די וכמוה, טוב השם כ"ד א', טוב השם לקל. למעוז דחו תוקפה דאית בישועות דכתיב, ומעוז ישועות משיחו הוא. ביום שרה, ביום דאקו, דאקים שאר עמים לישראל. So everyone, let me know how this week goes if you choose to do so. My email is right here. Our email is right here, christiankabbalah.com. Do you have any success stories? Is there something that you are particularly excited about starting? Let me know. As always, it really helps. Comment, share, like. We want to get this information out to as many people as we possibly can. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Have an amazing week, and I will see you in the next video. Love you all.